What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tyler. There we have the sandworm, and today not necessarily doing an install. In the past, Auxbeam has sponsored some ditch lights for the truck before, and I'm rocking the Auxbeam switch panel that runs all my lights. They actually sent some rock lights in the past, and before I decided to actually put rock lights on my truck, I didn't really want to drill anything on the bottom or anything like that. So I actually reached out to my neighbors. They have a Jeep, and they liked them, so we installed them on the Jeep. But I'm going to kind of show you how we installed them and actually kind of compare them to the ones that I did later eventually put on my truck, because after having these and seeing the ones on the Jeep, the Auxbeam ones are actually better than the ones I have. But more after you hit that like and subscribe button and we roll the intro. Okay, so before we walk over there and I show you this stuff, I did put a link in the bio if you want to become a member. It's like $5, and I'll send you out a monthly sticker. I don't know, I probably have 10 different stickers at this point that I can send out, send one each month to you. But $5, you get to watch the videos early since they come out on Saturday. But yeah, check that link out if you're interested. If not, no big deal, not worried about it. But let's go check the Jeep out and I'll show you where we put the Auxbeam rock lights. So I'm actually going to show you how these Auxbeam rock lights are wired up first, to kind of show you one of the reasons they're better than the ones that I actually have on my truck now. And because I'll show you under the hood of the Jeep and then under the hood of my truck, so you can see a difference of the wiring. And then like also, the Auxbeam change colors, any color you want, white, red, blue, whatever. Mine don't. And so for the price difference, you can buy like a lot of Auxbeam rock lights for the price of the just white lights I got on my truck. And honestly, I regret putting these ones on and not doing the Auxbeam ones on my personal vehicle. But the neighbor's super happy with them, and they look awesome on her Jeep. I would argue they look better on her Jeep than they would on my truck. But I'm gonna show you how those are wired up and then come back and show you how mine are wired up. So we've got her Jeep over here and it looks super sick. We actually wired the lights up right inside the fender, and her husband actually bolted them into the fender and kind of did the same thing throughout. Like, we've got one zip tied here, so you actually don't see the lights when you're above the truck. And so we've got one there, one under that fender, we've got one under this fender, and then also got one on the rear bumper, and it's like that for both sides. And the cool thing about these lights is they're daisy chained. So right there you can see the connection. So let's say you've got this light, well, you run the cord and then the next light plugs straight into that light, so you don't have 4 different cords on each side of the vehicle. But let me show you under the hood where that's connected. So like I was showing, all the lights are daisy chained, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and they plug into each other. So ultimately you have just one wire, 2 wires coming up. You have the negative terminal and the positive terminal with the inline fuse, and then this is the box that controls them with the remote or the app if you want to. And so both sides plug into this right there. You can see that's the driver's side, the passenger side, and then they split their own ways, and then they come out this side to split into just a positive and negative wire. And simple as that. So I kind of want to show you, I'll show at the end what these look like at night, because they're super awesome, different functions. And yeah, like neighbor did a good job bolting these into the fender, because you can't see them, like even just right there, you can't see them. I will say with these Jeeps, these fenders, if you pull these out to pull this fender liner out, I guess these things are made, the clips are made to break. So if you pull this out, you have to buy new clips, which I can see it because the Jeeps are like adult Legos. So, you know, they're made to modify and everything. So I guess that makes it easier. But yeah, this is how this is connected. So I'm gonna jump over, before I show you what these look like at night, I'm gonna jump over to my truck and show you why these are better than the ones I have. Okay, so unlike the Jeep, my rock lights only come with 3 on each side, and they're not daisy chained like the Auxbeam. So what I'm saying is all my rock lights are plugged in to that one connection point right there. You can see a lot more wires rather than just a negative and positive terminal going to the battery. I do have them plugged into my Auxbeam switch panel, but unlike the Jeep having just a positive and negative terminal, I have all my rock lights plugged into that, 3 on that side, 3 on this side, and then from there it runs and hits this. So a little bit more of a mess instead of the clean look that the Auxbeam lights come with, which I think is the downside of mine, and the Auxbeam are better for that reason. Another reason the Auxbeam is better is because you get 4 for each side rather than 3. And so if I were to turn mine on, there would be spaces where the light doesn't hit. But on the Jeep with the Auxbeam rock lights, there's no space. It's just a steady light, and I'll show that at the end. But the final reason that I think the Auxbeam rock lights are better than the ones that I have on the truck, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but the ones I have on the truck were like $600 or something. The ones on the Auxbeam are way less expensive, less than $300, and you get 4 for each side. They're brighter, they change colors, they're easier to connect, you have less wiring. Just all around a better design than these. And not to mention, you get just like a ring of like maybe 8 LEDs for each rock light. On the Auxbeam, you have LEDs on this side, LEDs underneath, and LEDs on that side on each rock light. So way more light output, brighter, just better all around. And I know I'm kind of ranting, but I kind of want to, I know people ask about my rock lights, and I kind of want to, you know, let you all know that these expensive ones are not the way to go. These ones are way too pricey for what they do, when the Auxbeam, if you can afford rock lights, the Auxbeam ones less than $300 get you way more functionality, way more features, way easier to connect. Because those, if I were to put those on my truck, I could have done red wire to the Auxbeam switch, black wire there, and then they daisy chain themselves. So way easier to connect. But anyways, enough about that. I know you guys want to see what the Auxbeam rock lights look like, so here we go.